Talking a little sports for the next half hour. Tariq, how you doing?
Pretty good. You can hate Houston Astros all you want, but guess who's the champs?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little later. Pat, one of your favorites, right? You like the Buffalo head.
The return of the goat head this week in Buffalo, right? The New Jerseys look great, and my favorite player from the Sabres 99 Cup run, Jeff Sanderson.
Things are going well for that team, aren't they?
Oh, they were up until the last 3 games, so let's not talk about that. That hurts my feelings.
All right, we'll put that on the back burner and talk about, boy, hasn't the world changed since the last time we got together and did this program.
Sure did.
The AFC East, all of a sudden, there's not a losing record in it. My theory going into this whole football season was that was the weakest division, which would pave the way for Buffalo to have the home playoff game, perhaps the top seed, the whole bit. Boy, it hasn't worked out that way.
No, it hasn't. It's the toughest division in football, basically. There's no
It's the only one with 4 winning teams.
And what's bizarre about it is everybody says that the Bills are the number 1 team in the AFC, and they've lost twice in their own division, which is something we'll bring up later with the Bills. And now have concerns. Well, we'll talk about their quarterback situation later on, but it's interesting to me. It's like the Bills take the 1 spot. Then this week, the first week of the year, the Dolphins were the team everybody was afraid of. Now it's turned into the Jets are the team everybody's kind of afraid of. And so it's like it's a revolving door of success.
Because 2 weeks prior it was the Jets, then they lost, and forget about them, and then they beat Buffalo, and they're back.
Back in it again.
And there's New England sitting last place, but 5-4 somehow.
Okay, and New England, that's a false 5-4, and anybody that's watched the Patriots play, no, it's a false 5-4. Look, I don't know what to make.
Would you bet on Buffalo beating them twice this year?
New England? Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I would. I mean, look.
But he hesitated, though. Did you
no,
notice
thought about it. I appreciate the consideration.
Do I seem like a man who just shoots his mouth off without thinking? No, I mean, it's not out of the...
We're considering it.
With the success the Bills have had the last couple of years, it was just a matter of time before they started figuring it out. I think Miami has legitimately figured it out. Not to the point where they're a threat for the division, but they have a good team moving forward. The Jets... I don't think the Jets are as good as everybody thinks the Jets are. I feel I get the same Jets from the vibe from the Jets as I got from the Patriots when they went on that 7-game streak, where if you start breaking down game by game, you start seeing, oh, you got a break here, oh, you got a break here, oh, this guy was out, oh, everything worked this way. I think when the season comes to an end, you're going to see New England and New York fall to the bottom of the division, Miami middling, making the playoffs, and Buffalo where Buffalo's.
But what's interesting about this is that every single team needs to win. So you look at, say, for example, Buffalo, you still think that they're a class team. They're going to perform well. They're going to possibly make the playoffs. But then you look at the Jets, I'm like, okay, maybe they can put a string together, wins together. The Patriots aren't totally buried yet. Miami, everybody wants to rank them the 3rd best team in the AFC. I think that's too high. So this might be a division that beats itself up all the way up to the playoffs, and no one wants to play in the AFC.
After this week, New England's got to bye, and then they play the Jets, which all of a sudden the Jets-Patriots game looks like, that's a consequential contest.
But you go back to the point I just made. If you watch that Jets-Patriots game initially, there's a play right before halftime. It's 10-3. The Jets pick up a pick 6. It's 17-3 going into halftime, and a very questionable roughing the passer call completely changes that game. That's what I mean. Like with both of those teams, you have a play or two in every game along the way that completely changes the narrative of their whole season so far.
All right, the elephant in the room. The Josh Allen situation. As we record the show, it's still nothing official has been said.
To be determined. I actually think some political races have wrapped up before we find out whether or not Josh Allen is going to play on Sunday.
You mean by the playoffs?
Yeah. I don't even know. I'm concerned a bit about it. This is going to be very in it. Case Keenum is a very capable quarterback. I think he'll be able to come into the game and be able to produce some sort of an effort, but you're taking on a Minnesota Vikings team nobody thought would be 7-1 this year.
Well, nobody thought they'd be 7-1 because nobody thought their schedule would play out the way that it did. They don't have a single quality win, but I'll get more into that in a second.
Doesn't matter when you're 7-1.
Look, the line has moved 4 points in 2 days. That does not bode well for Josh Allen playing for the rest of the week. I haven't looked lately. They also took off the Bills AFC Championship odds off the board in a lot of sports books, which would tell you the injury might be long-term. But again, we don't know anything right now.
So it's so puzzling. And I know we can't be doctors and analyze it, but there was that pass after he got, first of all, the hit on the elbow. It's like the elbows aren't supposed to do that.
Yeah.
And then he throws the ball 60 yards downfield.
It was 70, and it was the longest pass through the air in the NFL this season.
You didn't lose that many weapons. We'll talk Bills coming up.
You brought Case Keenum up.
You didn't lose a lot of weapons, and that's why I think Case Keenum might be a little bit better than people.